Hey, this is Bob the Web Builder, and today I'm going to do a response video on Kevin Geary's WDD Live 102. Are CSS styling inputs going to die in Era 4? Where he argues that it's way faster to write CSS for everything than use a styling panel. So I'm going to show my workflow and let's see if that's true in that case as well. So first of all, we need to insert a div with a heading and some padding. So here I have Greenshift, here I have Etch. I must say that I am not that experienced in Etch yet, but we will still try to do that as well in his workflow. So let's first add a div in Greenshift. So that's just like this. And then add a heading in it. Let's use the Greenshift heading then, like an H2. Okay, so now we would need to add some padding to the div. Let's first add a class. I think he has something like my awesome cards as the class. Okay, so let's add that. And now when we click on this div element and click on here, we can go to the spacing panel. Click this and do this. So now we have our spacing, okay? So now let's do the same in Etch. So let's see which one we need. Let's just add a normal div. Let's add a heading. And now we are going to add some padding to here as well. All right. So now I need to add a selector first. So my awesome heading. All right. And let's add the padding here. All right. So now we have the padding here. I think this is about the same amount of work. Yeah, I guess that's not very much off. So the next step would be to add a linear gradient. So for that, we are going in Greenshift to backgrounds, click on gradient and choose the colors that we want. For example, this blue and maybe a lighter blue. Yeah, like this. Okay, that looks good. And now we can set the angle. So the argument of Kevin was you can set a angle in bricks without putting in the values, while in Greenshift it's as easy as just using this. You know, you can't right to bottom or to the left or whatever, but you can do something like this. So that's quite easy. Now, to be honest, in Etch, I could not do this yet because I don't know how to do a linear gradient by hand, but let's try if we can find it out with Etch's auto. Oh, I used an assign. With Etch's auto complete. Let's see, something like to bottom. Um, let's do a light gray to something stands out. Not like this, but like this. Yeah, nothing because I'm probably doing it wrong. So I should have to go to AI now and say, give me a linear gradient. Let's say to bottom from FA to FF000. Okay, almost got it right. Yeah, So here we have it in Etch. So this one is on me. I don't know how to do this by hand, so I need to use AI to do this. But of course, a lot of people do not know how to do this by hand. But in a styling panel like Greenshift, it's really easy to do. But even if I did know how to write a linear gradient by hand, this would probably still be way faster than typing it out. But now this part of the Add Styling panel is already here. So let's see if we can do it with that. So new background layer, choose a gradient. Ah, it doesn't give me anything to work with yet. Yeah, this is of course still work in progress, but this doesn't help me at the moment. So the next thing we want to do is add a figure, or actually an image in a figure tag. So let's do the image element and let's add the div to wrap it in, just like you do in Etch. So here is the div, and the image element goes inside. And we need to change this to figure. We can just type till we get to figure. See, here it is. And let's add a class of my awesome figure. Okay. And then we had to add some padding. So we go to the spacing panel again. Click here, add the padding we want. Let's use 2 REM in this case. Of course, we should use variables for this, but I didn't set them up on this side, so we're not going to do that right now. Just going to use raw values. And we needed the background color as well, I guess. Okay, let's use this background color then. And a border radius of, yeah, again, I should use a variable, but we don't have it, so let's just raw dog it and call it something like 1 REM or around. Okay. And now we just need to select the image. Let's use this one, for example. Voila. Here we go. The image, of course, itself needs a border radius as well. Could use a class for that, but let's do it differently. Let's set it over here. So let's go to our class, which is right here, and let's add a subselector called image. And now we can set a border radius on this as well. Of course, on all sides then. And ready. Yeah, so if we need a smaller border radius, we can just like something like this. Or of course use a calc. We can use a calc easily. When you click on here, and you can just, of course, add the variables. You can select them here if you have them, but you can easily do a calc here as well. You can write whatever you want in this field, and as you can see, it's a nice width, so you don't have the problem of not seeing what you're doing in Greenshift. So now let's do the same in Etch. So let's add our image, not right here. Let's put it over here. Need this one on top, so okay, let's do it like this. And then wrap this in a div. And the div should be a figure. Okay. So now add a selector. My awesome figure, I guess it was. Add it. Okay. And now let's see what we needed. We needed some padding of 2 REM. We needed a border radius of 1 REM. And the figure, yeah, I'm doing that right. And a background color of, let's make this green as well. It's another green than we had before. And let's see, go to the image as well. And I need to add a separate class to this, I guess. I don't think I could do this from the figure tag, but I'm not sure. Maybe I can. But let's call this my awesome image then. And let's set a border radius of 0.5 rem here as well. Okay, so that's done as well. Again, for me, it's probably faster in Greenshift, the styling panel, than it is in Etch, but yeah, that won't be much of a difference either. So the next thing is not even a contest because Kevin is going to add a table, but Greenlight has a table element. So just search for table, done. Here's my table. So I don't have to use TRs and blocks and stuff like that. I don't have to use AI. It's just a table. If I need to add a column, just click here, add a column, add a row, add a row. It's that simple. I can give it a class. Let's say something like my awesome table. And then I can style everything from here. So, if I want to style the TRs, I can do that from right here. So that's all quite easy. Can even use things like auth and things like that. So this does not seem to work in the builder, but it does work on the front end. Not sure why it won't work in the builder, but yeah, in the front end it does. And now while we're here, we can inspect how this looks. So it has a table, my awesome table. It has here the classes for the auth styling and the classes for the normal styling. And as you can see, there is nothing else that I didn't put here. Also with the figure over here, it's just a figure class, my awesome figure and my image. Nothing else. And here also with the H2. So now we are going to add a before element with a blurred circle on the heading. Okay, so let's do that as well. Let's go to my class, my awesome card. We have a before element available to us right here. You can use any subselector you want, but this one is by default over here. So first of all, we have to add some content, and that we can only do with a bit of custom CSS. So let's do that over here. Let's add a root placeholder and then do this. And now we can style it. So let's first position this absolute. And let's do this. Yeah, let's put it to the right. Let's do this like minus 20 pixels. And on the back also minus 20 pixels. We won't see anything yet because it doesn't have any value yet. But let's do a background color and then give it a size. Then it should show up for us. Let's do it like this. And there it is. Okay. So let's add a blur filter of like 20 pixels. Is that okay? Yeah. Let's do that. And let's yeah, we need to put it bit more to the top and to the right, I guess. And let's do a z index of -1. That doesn't seem to work. Okay. Let's do a z index of 1 and we will give this one a higher z index so it will be on top of it. It's okay. So now we need to make it round. We could use like 50% or 50 VWs, but we can also just use this preset, which does that automatically. So if I was going to do this in Etch, let's see how Kevin did that by nesting the before. I think you should use an N I'm not sure how to do this, but okay. So content, and then background of purple. Position of absolutes. Width of 100 pixels and height of 100 pixels again. Oh, didn't do the height right. Let's see. Where is my heading? Oh, I still have it over here. It should be here, but can't see it. It does have text. It should be black. Why isn't it showing up here? Let's see if it shows up on the front end. Yeah, it does, just not in the builder. A day before right here. Content of blank. Let's see. Position absolutes. Width of 100 pixels. Height of 100 pixels. Let's see, position absolute. Then I should do something like top minus 50 pixels. And right minus 50 pixels. Not sure if I'm doing this right. Uh, let's see, words. Yeah, it does show up over here. So, okay. And now we just need a background color of purple. And the border radius, what was it, 50? This is okay, this is border radius. And then something like a filter. Blur, I think it's something like this. Yeah, it is okay. I wasn't sure about that one. And we got our before element here as well. But again, you know, of course, I was struggling now with the heading that didn't show in the builder, but still, I'm not sure this is faster than doing it via the Greenshift styling panel. Um, yeah, maybe it is faster than in Bricks, but in Greenshift, with its pseudo elements and just all the controls you have in that, I think that's at least way easier, because in this case I know which CSS I need to write, but if you have no idea, then it's very difficult. Although of course you need to know the properties as well to do it in Greenshift. But there you have them in front of you, so that's a bit easier than doing it all by heart.